So for the first question on why financial health and financial inclusion are important or interesting to me, I say first starting off with financial health, I would put that hand in hand with financial literacy. Just being able to do what you want with your money, to grow your money and all of that, to be able to start a business if you would like to, just being in the best position to do what you would like to what you want to do with your life. And with financial inclusion, I say that's very important to me because I've seen the discrepancies between different communities. I could use a Black community for an example, being that a lot of us are not aware of, say, the tax laws or how to start a business or what steps we take to become financially independent. I believe that the gap between different communities is just outrageous. So through financial help and inclusion, we can really help to change this. For question 2 on what's been one of my toughest challenges and what did I do or doing right now to overcome it, I'd say that when I began taking leadership roles here on Delaware State University's campus through different organizations, it was hard to sort of voice my ideas and try to get other people on board with what I was trying to do. So I'd say there was definitely a learning curve when it came to that, especially being that I was a pretty shy individual coming to college. Basically, I did what I had to do and I did it on my own. So when it came time to lead others or incorporate others into my plan, it definitely was a challenge being able to develop those type of communication skills. What I did to overcome that, I definitely watched what others in my position or positions above me would do. I tried to pick up on these social or communicative skills just to make myself a better leader. And I feel like that really paid off, me being now in my junior year, being president of 2 organizations here on campus. For question 3 on what's one thing that was initially very difficult for you that became easier with practice, effort, and persistence. For this, I would say money management. Definitely when I was younger, starting out, like getting allowance or just getting my first job, it was very easy to blow through money, even though it wasn't a lot of money. So I feel like just being aware of where my money's going, working on budgets, figuring out if my money has to go somewhere, what's the best place for it to go? So instead of maybe on food or clothes, I could put it into investments, or I can put it into savings, or I can put it into tithes and offerings, or just experiences rather than material things, I would say. So I say that's definitely become easier through practicing saving my money, practicing paying attention to where my money is going, putting the effort forth to do that, and being persistent with that over the past 4 or 5 years, I'd say. For question 4, make it stretch. When was a time when you made the most of very few, if any, resources and you were proud of the outcome? Well, here on campus, I'm president of an organization called the Men of Color Alliance. We're basically a community service-based organization with the main goal of elevating, educating young men here on campus. Coming into my role as the president last spring, I say I was put in a position where there was not a lot of training. I did not really have any training coming in. I did not have many resources, not financially or just people, I don't say people to call on, but immediate people that I could go to for guidance. So I feel like by working on myself, working on my leadership skills, as I answered for question 2, I believe, I really made the most of the few resources I had, one being of myself, just refining myself so I was able to take on this new role. So I definitely did what I could with that, and I made it stretch, and I believe I did a pretty good job, and I'm very proud of the outcome. Being president of the Men of Color Alliance put me in a lot of positions to grow, and not only for myself, but to take the organization to new heights. Recently, I created a coalition of all the men's organizations. So there's about 3 other organizations besides the Men of Color Alliance here on campus. And I'm working with the president of the college to do that and to create more community service initiatives throughout Delaware, not just Dover, but also in Wilmington, with different community service or nonprofit organizations. So I'm very proud of that outcome and what I was able to do from starting in this position. And finally, lift as you climb. How can I help to contribute to the success of my peers during this 12-week experience? What experience or support can you offer to help everyone in your cohort successfully graduate together? I say what I can contribute to the success of my peers is basically the contribution of my ideas, feedback to what they're thinking, just being more than willing to dedicate to the success of my peers. I want say one thing that I told there is, like, if I make it, I want all the people with me to make it. I want my whole community to make it. So there's definitely enough for everybody, and no matter what I do, I really try to make sure that everybody eats, basically. What experience or support can I offer? I say just my leadership experience and background, along with my education, along with the skills that I've acquired over the years, like time management, money managing, cultivating and creating ideas, as well as working on pitches and just relaying those ideas and making other people able to understand my ideas. And not only understand, but to come on board and be excited for it and to take on the idea as their own. I believe that's what I can offer to my peers in the Accelerator.